Video on mac and cheese because I don't think I've ever had it, if I'm honest. Um, so I kind of thought it'd be a good opportunity to make it because I need to use up some things that I've got around the house. And I was kind of watching some videos and I couldn't quite just. It's just like a cheese bechamel sauce with cheese into macaroni, pasta, and then with cheese on top. And I kind of thought, like a bechamel sauce is a bit rubbish. So I kind of thought, let's change it slightly and let's use some stock cubes. Let's put in some onions, and some stock into the cheese sauce and make it more like a veloute sauce. That was my kind of thought anyway. So 500 grams of onions. I've sweated those down in a little bit of fat and some salt, and then it's a litre of water, and then it's a stock cube. I need another one, so I'll have to find another stock cube. I'll put one in, but I'm going to put 2 stock cubes in there, and then we've got I bought proper macaroni, that's 500 grams, and that was 64p, something like that. Yeah, but then there was another supermarket, and they sell this, which was 64p for a kilogram. So I kind of thought, well, let's do that. So it's not going to be proper mac and cheese. It's not going to be macaroni. It's going to be pasta shapes, whatever kind of those shapes are. So a kilogram of that, and then I'm going to use, to make the cheese sauce, I'm going to use about 500 grams worth of cheese. I've got some grated cheese that I had in the freezer, some red cheese, it's just cheap red cheese, and then I've got some bits of other cheese that were left over from something else. So there's some feta, there's that, and a bit of red cheese in there, so that'll be grated, so that'll make into the sauce. And I've got some Italian hard cheese, if there just isn't quite enough cheese in that. And then I've got some mozzarella, so it's just cheap mozzarella, it's in the fridge, it needs using up. And then pulled this out of the freezer. This is some pheasant ragu that was in the bottom of the freezer. So I'm going to put that on a layer on the bottom, a layer of mac and cheese, and then we're going to put in a layer of the mozzarella balls, and then we're going to put another layer of mac and cheese on top of that. And then I've got some leftover breadcrumbs that I've fried in olive oil, so they're going to be the crunchy top. So that should kind of work. And we're going to blend the sauce as well. So I'm going to boil up the milk, we're going to blend it, thicken it with some roux. So it's about 2 litres, so I reckon about 60 grams worth of butter and 60 grams worth of flour is about the right amount. But I've got some Mornay, which is made up roux that you cook beforehand, and it just means that you can add it to sauces and instantly thicken it. So to get a better sauce, we're going to blend it, but once that's cooked to boil and we've thickened it up, and I've added a bit more stock to it, and then we'll add the cheese and we'll cook the pasta on the back. So probably need a bit more water than that, probably need a bigger pan. It'll be right, we'll wing it and we'll cook it for, it needs cooking for 10 to 12 minutes, so we'll cook it for 8 I think, and then we'll bake it in the oven for about 25 minutes, something like that. But that's what I'm going to do. So I just need this to come up to the boil, pasta to cook, and then we'll be back at the next stage once we find another stock cube somewhere. I think, yes. Right, so pasta's in, milk's come up to the boil. Let's add in, there's 120 grams worth of Mornay there, so let's add half of it to start off with, stir it around. So because when you make a Mornay, you add fat to a pan and add the same amount of flour, and then you cook it. And because you're cooking it out for 20 minutes, 10-20 minutes in the pan, you don't need to cook it out when you're making a white sauce. So it's just like an instant thickening agent. You just have to basically come up to a boil. I've left the onions in unpureed, but we'll puree it all together. The blender will reach. if it comes to the right kind of consistency. I just find that with velouté sauces and bechamels, that you kind of need to blend them just to get rid of the excess lumps out. And it also thins the sauces down a little bit. So, but we need to blend the onions. It just makes a nicer sauce. And with proper bechamel sauce, you add in a studded onion to a bechamel sauce. And I could never, and then you take the onion out. I could never understand why you took out the onion. I could understand you like taking out the cloves, and it's clove and a bay leaf. So you get a bay leaf and you stick the bay leaf to the onion using the clove, and then you throw that away. And I always kind of thought, well, that onion's imparted flavour into the sauce, but it's kind of, I don't know why you don't leave the onion in. Take the clove and the bay leaf out of the sauce. I think you can go all of this, and then puree the onion into the sauce. It'd be a much nicer sauce. I don't know why. But there was loads of things at college that we learned that I just found a little bit ridiculous. That's just taking forever to come back up to the boil. So I'd set them up. Yeah, 10 minutes of boiling, I think, for the. Right, so that sauce is thickening up nicely. It'll thin down, so it'll look far too thick, but it'll thin down once we put the blender in it, because the onion's mostly water anyway. So, but you'll see. So I've already got the timer on, but I think it probably needs to be on for when it comes back up to the boil. I don't know. Right, okay. How's it taste? Finger? Very much nicer with an onion in it. And a couple of stock cubes. Right, let's do that for 10 minutes now. But we'll keep testing the pasta. It's cheap pasta, I think it'll be it'll take longer to cook than good quality pasta. Although it might be good quality pasta, it might just be cheap. So don't want that sticking to the bottom of the pan. Gas off. Stick blender in. Go. See, that's about the right consistency. So yeah, 60 grams of flour and 60 grams of fat is enough to thicken a litre of milk, and the onion in there. So finger again. Much nicer than the bechamel sauce. Much nicer. So I don't normally put feta in a cheese sauce, but there's actually 400 grams here of both cheeses combined, so the feta was left over, so that's what we're using. It's sharp. I don't know, I think the sharp flavour will add to it. Might need to blend that in. Let's blend the feta in. grater out, just to grate that little bit of cheese. It'll melt in with the heat. Break it up a little bit, get rid of that. Smell the pasta. I'm not going to blend the cheese once it's got, blend the sauce once it's got the cheese in. I don't think I'm going to. I'm still recording it. Yes, that's alright. So the rest of the cheese in there. Then, if I've got too much sauce, I won't add it all. So we'll add half the sauce to the pasta, and then we'll add, if we need any kind of more. But the onions will have given some extra volume to it. No heat underneath the sauce. Hopefully there'll be enough residual heat in the pan to melt the cheese. I reckon what? A good amount of, a litre of milk for 500 grams of cheese, I think it's about right, but we've got 400, but we'll see. We need to add more, we'll add more. I think we've got too much sauce for the pasta. I'm not that bothered if there's some lumps of cheese in the sauce. And it'll melt, because we're going on it to the hot pasta, so that'll help melt it as well. Just need to toast the sauce. And we're going to add a bit of mustard. If I've got some mustard, I'll add some mustard. And I have a yes! So, a teaspoon of mustard as well, I think. Into the cheese sauce. You won't taste it. You won't know. You won't know that it's mustard, but it'll just improve the flavour just a little bit. Like another seasoning. It's kind of like an optional thing. So where are we with that? I'll stick from there. I'll make myself some washing up. Do you want to put some more cheese in? Yes, I do. I won't use the hard Italian cheese. I've got some more grated stuff that's frozen, but we'll see. Too much. Right, that's about 100 grams. So, this is really dangerous. Don't do this ever. You'll end up with a knife in the hand. Look, they have the other one. Let's drop those down there. I think that's done. More salt. More salt. Sure, that pasta's almost ready. Don't need to, just even now. We'll pause. Right, so pasta's cooked, sauce is ready, and yeah, 500 grams of cheese is the right amount for this amount of a litre of milk. So, but I think I've got too much sauce. I think I've got too much sauce. No, we'll put some more sauce in that. Imagine what the amount of onion. Can always add more sauce on top, can't we? Yeah. Okay, so let's keep that out of the way. And then, so I'm going to put half of this on. Ish. Would have been the right amount of pasta if I hadn't put that ragu in, but that doesn't matter. And then these two, which I should have drained and cooked beforehand, but no. Too busy faffing around. That, another, I think 120 grams of ball. That, and then I don't think it needs any more sauce. It might do. Yes, it's too much pasta. That's alright, I'll put that in another one, another dish. What's some more sauce? Yeah, so that is the right amount of sauce. We're just putting some on top, I think. This video is going to be too long for what it is. Not like that. Yeah, I think that's better. I think that's a better way of doing it. Rather than adding all the sauce to that. Even more washing up. And then breadcrumbs on top. Rather than more cheese, I think breadcrumbs for crunch. Also kind of like cauliflower and cheese sauce with breadcrumbs on the top is a classic, isn't it? And you can have too much cheese, although some of my friends would disagree with that. So there, that into an oven for half an hour, I reckon. It's already cooked, we just need to crisp the top, so let's get another dish. And then we'll do a cheesy version. That's right, that'll be right. Then we'll do a cheesy version. We'll cook that, we'll let that cool down, and then we'll cook that in a couple of days and tack it onto the end of the video. Because we don't like waste, and we can get an idea of sauce and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so put it out of the way, make it a mess everything, creating far too much washing up. Yeah, so certainly the right amount of sauce for the way we're going to do it. And it didn't matter that the onion was in there. So this one can go in the fridge until we're ready to eat it. And then I had to get some more cheese out of the freezer, so we can put this one. We'll just do with cheese on the top rather than breadcrumbs, because we've run out of breadcrumbs. Need that bit. And we'll see what happens. And if we can cook it from cold in the fridge, or we have to cook it from after we've just cooked the pasta. So that's that. 25 minutes, and we'll see what the other one's like. Well, 30 minutes, we'll see how the other one's like. Half an hour, let's have a look. Ooh. It's bubbling, and it's made a mess in the oven, so not to worry. We'll just better make sure that we clean the oven before we turn it back on. So, nice and crispy. I don't want it in a bowl. Yeah, I want it in a bowl. And then I've got some scissors. So it's just easier to cut cheese and pasta with scissors. No, it's going to be too big. Maybe need something else. Let's go for a spoon. It's certainly the right consistency, isn't it? All that mozzarella, and then just that nice bit of pheasant ragu at the bottom. Stringy cheese everywhere. So, how's it taste? I'm going to wash my hands. That's delicious. That's really good. Obviously, I mean, putting ragu in the bottom, I'm using things up, but just the cheese sauce made that way, and the pasta and the breadcrumbs. It would have been nice with extra cheese on top, but the breadcrumbs were what I had and cheaper. That's delicious. I'm going to really enjoy that. So yeah, I think the onion and the mustard and the stock cube make a massive difference to like a bechamel white sauce. Not a traditional thing to use in a mac and cheese. Just put the onion in like that, but it's like another layer of flavour, which I think vastly improves it. Otherwise, I always imagined, it always just looked a bit claggy. Did mac and cheese for me. I just kind of thought, it just looks claggy. But anyway, that's delicious. Let's have a look at the mac and cheese that we had in the fridge that we cooked a day later. Wow, there's a lot of cheese on top of that. Nice and hot anyway. Is it still nice and hot? Pair of scissors just to cut through the crispy crust. It's just got one layer of the macaroni. Cut it down like that. Well, it looks like we can reheat it up another night, doesn't it? So yeah, let's put it on a plate. And then oh, at that. Look at that. That works, doesn't it? So, yeah, you can cook it beforehand, put it in the fridge overnight, and then reheat it up the next day. So it will be delicious. It'll be really hot. That's delicious. There we go. That worked. That worked. I rip rolling success. So what we got? I reckon we've got about 6 really generous portions from a kilo of pasta. A kilo of pasta, litre of milk, 500 grams of cheese, and then another 250 grams worth of mozzarella in the layer. So cheap meal, filling, and delicious.